There is a sacred power in silence, a divine space where God meets a woman who chooses to work on herself without a loud proclamation or a public display. The world often misunderstands silence as weakness, but it is in this quietness that the greatest victories are born. When a woman dedicates herself to growth, discipline, and transformation in the secret places of her heart and mind, she is preparing for a destiny that no one else can give her. This is the kind of work God sees and honors. Understand, blessings are not always loud or immediate. They come in God's perfect timing, not on the world's timetable. The woman who is patient enough to work quietly is demonstrating faith. A faith that says, I will keep growing, I will keep improving, even when no one else is watching. And God, who knows every tear, every effort, every prayer whispered in the night, will reward that faithfulness beyond what she can imagine. Humility is the foundation of her growth. She is not building a platform for praise from people. She is building a life anchored on purpose. And this humility invites God's presence because he resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. When she chooses to refine her character, renew her mind, and strengthen her spirit in silence, she aligns herself with divine principles. The internal transformation prepares her to walk into greater responsibility and influence. This silent work is not easy. It requires resilience. Many will not understand her journey because they only see results, but she knows the value of the struggle. Every silent sacrifice is forging strength that cannot be shaken by the noise of the world. This strength is invisible but unbreakable, like the roots of a great tree that stretch deep beneath the surface. In the quiet, she protects herself from distractions, from comparisons that steal joy and focus. Silence is her shield against envy and premature exposure that could derail her destiny. She understands that what God has for her is worth more than the fleeting applause of man.
God honors diligence. The woman who labors quietly is sowing seeds that will bring a harvest of blessings. Her faithfulness is a magnet for divine favor and supernatural promotion. The silent work she does today is setting the stage for a testimony that will inspire generations.
The power of quiet preparation is one of the most overlooked principles in the journey toward greatness. In a world obsessed with instant results and public recognition, the value of working diligently in silence often goes unnoticed. Yet, it is in these quiet moments, away from the noise and distractions, that true transformation takes place. Quiet preparation is not about seeking attention or applause. It is about committing yourself to the process of growth with patience, humility, and faith. When a woman chooses to prepare in silence, she is planting seeds deep within her character and spirit that will eventually bear fruit in ways that are both powerful and lasting. This kind of preparation demands discipline. It means waking up every day with a mindset focused on improvement, even when no one else sees or acknowledges the effort. It requires sacrificing short-term pleasures and the temptation to rush forward before she is ready. Quiet preparation is a process of refining skills, strengthening the mind, and developing wisdom. It's in this unseen work that resilience is built, allowing her to withstand challenges and setbacks with grace. Moreover, quiet preparation creates space for divine guidance. When there is no distraction of external validation, God's voice can be heard more clearly. It is in silence that revelation comes, revealing the purpose and path ahead. This preparation also allows the woman to grow without the pressure of comparison or judgment, which can often derail progress. In this sacred time, she is able to cultivate patience, trust in God's timing, and align her efforts with his will. Ultimately, the power of quiet preparation lies in its ability to produce a foundation so strong that when the moment to step into destiny arrives, she is fully equipped. The greatness she attains is not superficial or fleeting. It is deep, enduring, and anchored in the secret work done in silence. Faith in God's timing is a profound act of trust that requires patience and surrender beyond what the natural mind often comprehends. In a world driven by instant gratification and urgency, trusting God's timing means resisting the pressure to force outcomes or rush into decisions before the season is right. It's understanding that God's schedule is perfect and that every delay, every waiting period is purposeful. For the woman who works quietly on herself, faith in God's timing means believing that the blessings she desires are not lost or forgotten, but are being carefully prepared and will arrive at the exact moment they will have the greatest impact. This faith is not passive. It is an active commitment to keep growing and improving even when the fruit of her labor is not yet visible. It requires her to remain steadfast in her efforts and to keep her heart hopeful even when circumstances seem discouraging. She understands that God is orchestrating her life behind the scenes, aligning people, opportunities, and resources in a divine pattern beyond human sight. The waiting period, though difficult, is refining her character and strengthening her spirit, molding her into the woman she must become before the blessing manifests. Faith in God's timing also guards her from frustration and disappointment. Instead of becoming anxious or doubting, she chooses to rest in the assurance that God's plans are always for her good. This faith encourages her to release control, knowing that premature action or impatience can sometimes lead to missed opportunities or setbacks. She learns to embrace the silence and the delay, recognizing these as sacred moments where God is preparing her in ways she cannot yet understand. Ultimately, faith in God's timing builds a deep confidence that what is meant for her will not pass her by, and what comes too soon may not last. It is a trust that allows her to walk confidently through every season, knowing that God's timing is always perfect, and His blessings will come at the right time, fully equipped with divine favor. Humility in growth is the quiet strength that shapes a woman's character from the inside out. It is the recognition that no matter how much knowledge, skill, or talent she acquires, her true value and progress come from a place of dependence on God, rather than self-reliance. Humility is the soil in which growth takes root, because it keeps her grounded and open to correction, learning, and transformation. When she embraces humility, she is willing to acknowledge her weaknesses and limitations, understanding that these are not barriers, but opportunities for God's power to be made perfect in her life. In the process of growing quietly and intentionally, humility prevents pride and arrogance from taking root. It reminds her that growth is not a platform for boasting or comparison, but a sacred journey of becoming the best version of herself for God's purpose. This humility creates a posture, teachability. She listens more than she speaks, learns more than she assumes, and serves more than she demands. It is this spirit that invites God's favor, because God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humility in growth also cultivates patience. It allows her to accept the pace at which transformation happens without frustration or resentment. She understands that true growth is a process often slow and invisible to others, but essential for lasting change. This patience is born from the awareness that God is the ultimate source of all wisdom and strength, and she is merely a vessel being refined for a greater purpose. Through humility, the woman working on herself in silence builds a foundation not only for success, but for legacy. Her growth is authentic and sustainable because it is rooted in the acknowledgement that every achievement is by God's grace. This humility shapes her into a leader who inspires, uplifts, and walks in integrity, reflecting the divine nature she is being molded to embody. Inner transformation precedes outward manifestation, because what a woman becomes on the inside ultimately shapes what she will display to the world. True change does not begin with external achievements or visible success. It starts deep within the heart, mind, and spirit. When a woman works quietly on herself, she is engaging in a sacred process of renewing her thoughts, healing her emotions, and aligning her character with divine principles. This internal work is the foundation upon which every external blessing and opportunity will stand. Without inner transformation, outward success is often temporary and fragile. It can be shaken by challenges, temptations, or the pressures of life. But when a woman cultivates integrity, wisdom, faith, and humility inside, she builds an unshakable core. This core becomes a wellspring of strength that sustains her through trials and empowers her to walk confidently in her purpose. God honors this inner work because it reflects a heart that is willing to be shaped and molded according to His will. Inner transformation also brings clarity of vision and purpose. It helps a woman discern what is truly valuable and discard what is superficial or harmful. This clarity ensures that when blessings do manifest outwardly, they are aligned with God's plan for her life, not just fleeting desires or distractions. She becomes a vessel fit for the responsibility and influence she is meant to carry. The invisible work of renewing the mind and spirit creates lasting change that no external circumstance can undo. It prepares her to handle success with grace, to lead with compassion, and to inspire with authenticity. Therefore, every visible sign of progress is a testimony to the quiet, persistent transformation happening inside, a transformation that ultimately reflects the hand of God guiding her destiny. Resilience through unseen effort is the hidden power that builds a woman's strength far beyond what the eyes can perceive. While the world often celebrates visible achievements and loud victories, it is the quiet, persistent effort behind the scenes that forms the true backbone of resilience. This resilience is born when a woman commits herself to growth and improvement, even when no one is watching, when challenges seem overwhelming, and when progress feels slow or invisible. It is in these moments of unseen labor, those early mornings, lights, and countless small steps, that her character is fortified. The unseen effort requires discipline and unwavering determination. It is the refusal to give up despite setbacks, failures, or discouragement. This kind of resilience does not depend on external validation or immediate results. Instead, it is fueled by a deep inner conviction that the work she is doing matters, that every sacrifice is an investment in a greater future. This steadfastness creates an unbreakable spirit, one that cannot be easily swayed by criticism, doubt, or temporary defeat. Moreover, resilience through unseen effort teaches patience and endurance. It reminds her that success is often a marathon, not a sprint. Each silent struggle, each moment of perseverance is shaping her into a woman who can withstand storms and emerge stronger. The strength developed in these quiet battles is far more powerful than any fleeting burst of motivation because it is built on consistent effort and faith. This resilience also aligns her with divine strength. God honors the woman who perseveres in silence because He sees the heart behind the effort. He knows that the unseen work is preparing her for a destiny that requires more than talent or opportunity. It requires a spirit that refuses to be broken. Through unseen effort, she becomes resilient not only in body and mind, but in spirit, ready to fulfill the purpose God has set before her. Avoiding distractions and comparisons is a vital discipline for the woman who seeks to grow quietly and purposefully. In a world filled with noise, opinions, and constant comparisons, it is easy to lose focus and become distracted by what others are doing, saying, or achieving. But when a woman chooses to work on herself in silence, she protects her heart and mind from these harmful influences. She understands that distractions pull her away from her purpose and comparisons steal her joy, confidence, and peace. Comparison is a thief. It convinces her that she is not enough or that someone else's journey is better or faster. But every woman's path is uniquely designed by God, tailored to her specific purpose and timing. By avoiding comparisons, she honors her own process and trusts that God's plan for her life is perfect and unlike anyone else's. This freedom from comparison allows her to focus fully on her own growth, celebrating her progress instead of envying another's success. Distractions come in many forms: social media, gossip, unhealthy relationships, or the temptation to seek approval from others. The woman who works quietly understands that these distractions dilute her energy and divert her from the work God has called her to do. She chooses instead to guard her time, her thoughts, and her heart, creating a sacred space for concentration and reflection. In this space, she can hear God's voice clearly and align her actions with His purpose. By avoiding distractions and comparisons, she cultivates peace, focus, and confidence. She walks a path of intentionality and purpose, fully aware that what she is building is precious and worthy of protection. This discipline empowers her to remain steadfast and unwavering, even when the world around her is chaotic and competitive. It is this focused commitment that positions her to receive the blessings and fulfillment that come from God's divine favor. God honors the diligent and faithful because He values the heart that perseveres quietly, consistently, and with unwavering trust. Diligence is not about hurried effort or occasional bursts of activity. It is about steady, intentional work done with purpose and discipline. The woman who labors faithfully on herself, even when no one else notices, demonstrates a commitment that resonates deeply with God's principles. Her faithfulness in the small things prepares her for greater responsibilities and blessings that require endurance and integrity. Faithfulness means showing up day after day, choosing to grow, learn, and improve despite challenges or delays. It means trusting God's promises even when the results are not immediate or visible. This steadfastness builds a strong character rooted in hope and confidence, knowing that God is watching and that He rewards those who do not grow weary in well-doing. The diligent woman is not discouraged by obstacles, but uses them as opportunities to deepen her faith and strengthen her resolve. God's honor comes not only in blessings, but also in the development of spiritual maturity and wisdom. When she is faithful, God entrusts her with greater insight, favor, and opportunities. This divine recognition often precedes promotion, influence, and impact that extend beyond her own life. The diligent work done in silence is never wasted. It forms the foundation for lasting success that glorifies God. In honoring the diligent and faithful, God affirms that true greatness is not measured by immediate applause or popularity, but by consistent obedience and trust. The woman who embraces this truth aligns herself with God's kingdom principles, positioning herself to receive abundant blessings that reflect His glory and purpose.